Academy of Arts Urban Nights update is next. A wave of bombings kills hundreds of people in Sri Lanka on Easter, the warning the government had beforehand.
How much do you need to live a middle-class lifestyle in the Bay Area? We contrast two people and crunch some numbers as San Francisco Icon announces its final act.
And what's life really like after graduation? We find out in our interview segment. I'm Danny Galvez.
And I'm Grant Swinton. All that and more next on Urban Nights Update. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Urban Nights Update. The investigation continues in the suicide bombings that have killed nearly 300 people and injured about 500 more in Sri Lanka. The U.S. State Department says 4 Americans are among the dead. The explosion apparently targeted several churches holding Easter Sunday services and hotels. Sri Lanka officials blame a local jihadist group. It's arrested some dozen suspects. Sri Lanka security reportedly had intelligence that an extremist group planned to bomb Catholic churches but failed to take action.
We may be closer to learning the cause of the massive fire at Notre Dame Cathedral last week. The cathedral's rector says the flames may have started with an electrical short circuit in an elevator, then spread through the beams supporting the ceiling. One of the relics saved in the fire was presented at a Good Friday procession, the crown of thorns that worshippers believe Jesus wore at his crucifixion. So far, hundreds of millions of dollars have been pledged to help restore the historical landmark.
The doors of the new fleet of light rail streetcars is under investigation for apparently closing and locking on passengers' hands and arms. The California Public Utilities Commission says is looking into the problem. The SF Examiner obtained video of a woman ride who was injured when one of the doors closed on her hand and dragged her last week behind the Anjuta train. Munis says the problem appears to be related to the sensors in the door. It is putting in a new one. A hospital spokesman says the woman was released from the hospital.
88,000 drivers with suspended licenses are now in the clear in San Francisco. The city is the first in the nation to overturn driver's license suspensions for people who miss traffic court appearances. Mayor London Breed said that many people don't show up to pay their fine because it's too expensive. But as a result, they lose their license. The city decided to eliminate the penalty that disproportionately hurt low-income people.
San Francisco is facing a filthy problem. In the last 7 years, the city has had a huge increase in reports of human feces found on public streets. The watchdog group Open the Books notes the trend. The city's Public Works Department has had more than 555 reports of poop on the streets in 2011. That increased 5 times to more than 28,000 last year.
Although the city's poop patrol does help clean up the streets, one supervisor says more needs to be done. Supervisor Matt Haney announced new plans to clean up in the Tenderloin in particular. Haney proposes adding more big trash cans, public restrooms, and street cleaners.
Rates of sexually transmitted diseases are rising in San Francisco. The city's public health department says they're seeing more cases of syphilis, chlamydia, and gonorrhea. Doctors say the number of women infected rose 144% between 2017 and 2018, and more than 280 babies were born with syphilis in California in 2017. Doctors urge gay men, transgenders, and young people to get tested. Also on the rise, the number of measles cases. The World Health Organization reports more than 112,000 cases during the first 3 months of this year. That's a 300% increase over the same period last year, and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reports 555 new cases in the U.S. so far this year. The U.S. declared measles eliminated in the year 2000 because of the measles vaccine, but public health officials attribute the current outbreak to the anti-vaccination movement, the people who question the safety of the vaccines and opted out of getting injections.
The economic divide in the Bay Area is clear, and if you don't make enough, you may have to find extra work. We compare 2 people from different economic situations. Lee Thomas is a software engineer at Credit Karma. Although he did not feel comfortable disclosing his salary, He did tell me that he makes on the lower end of 6 figures a year. For a one-bedroom apartment in San Francisco, Lee pays over $2,000 a month.
I live in the outer Richmond, off of 32nd Avenue, kind of by Golden Gate Park. I actually just moved in last July, so I'm coming up on a year in a few months, but I'm trying to move out in August. All my friends are out here, I went to school out here, and I've been working out here as well. And when I was still living in the suburbs, that commute was about an hour on BART each day. Now it's actually almost similar because I live so much further out in the city, about 45 minutes. But as opposed to being underground on a train, I'm above ground on a bus, and I enjoy that much more.
It's no secret that the cost of living in San Francisco is extremely high. Although you could technically live in a studio apartment about the size of this one for roughly over $2,000 a month in San Francisco, it may not be feasible for people with kids or large families. For people with children, such as Isaiah's, working a second job such as Instacart helps to make ends meet.
Assistance in the dairy hall.
I commute because my kids live in the Central Valley area. I was trying to juggle 3 jobs, but right now I have 2 for sure jobs. I usually start doing Instacart, which is it's like a delivery service. You basically order groceries, and then I pretty much go to the store with this grocery list, and I pick out all the groceries, talk to the customer, and then I put them in these like freezer bags, and then I'll take them their groceries.
In San Francisco, I'm Danny Galvez with your Urbanites Update. The average salary in San Francisco is over $85,000 a year, and the cost of living is 80% above the national average. So how much is enough in the Bay Area? Almost anywhere else in the United States, an annual income of $300,000 is more than enough to pay all of your bills and still have money left over for things like investments and savings. But according to the blog Financial Samurai, it's not enough for a luxurious lifestyle in the Bay Area. The blog took a poll of dozens of families in Seattle, New York, and San Francisco, and it concluded that a family of 4 would need to make over $300,000 a year before taxes. This is considering factors such as childcare, food, mortgage, and saving for retirement.
More privacy issues for Facebook. It has admitted to uploading the email contacts of more than 1.5 million users in the last 3 years. A security researcher first discovered the problem when people signing up for the new accounts were asked to provide email passwords to verify their identity. Facebook says it's fixing the problem. On top of that, Facebook now admits another security lapse is much larger than first thought. It acknowledges it exposed not thousands but millions of Instagram passwords on its servers. Samsung has released a new $2,000 phone that can fold in half, but some have already tried it and it appears to break after a few days. That's according to reporters who have tried the Galaxy Fold before its official debut. Some reviewers accidentally removed the protective layer from the screens, and some didn't either way. They say the screen flashed and turned black after a few days. Samsung says the screen had been opened and closed 100 times a day for 5 years.
If you want to drive down Lombard Street in San Francisco, you may have to pay. A state assembly bill would set up a reservation and toll system for the tourist attraction. People who live on the crooked street have complained of noise and traffic congestion. The proposal is to impose a $5 per car fee, with the rate going up to $10 on weekends and holidays. Good news is that it won't apply to people who want to walk down Lombard Street.
Another San Francisco icon. This one is announcing its final curtain call. After 45 years, Beach Blanket Babylon is coming to a close on New Year's Eve. The popular production spoofs political figures and celebrities and is known for its giant hats, including one of the San Francisco skyline. After more than 70,000 performances with 6.5 million audience members, producers decided the time has come for this show to end on a high note. Another San Francisco's attraction shows that you don't need to travel overseas to enjoy. Beautiful Japanese agriculture and gardens, Kwanchang-go takes us there.
Hi everyone! Today I'm gonna introduce one of the famous and unique places in Golden Gate Park, Japanese Tea Garden. There are about 300 Japanese gardens around the United States.
The most famous one is located in Golden Gate Park. It was built by a Japanese gardener as an exhibition for the World Expo in 1894. Crowded with tourists and locals every vacations and holidays. This tea garden has preserved its beauty. The Japanese garden's design concept usually involves the relationship between humans and nature. Scattered around the garden are bamboos, maple trees, and trimmed pine trees. Also, here has featuring classic elements such as pagodas, stepping stone path, cereal ponds, stone lanterns, and arch-drawn bridge are spread out through the garden. With the sand garden and ponds, they compose a gorgeous picture of the Japanese garden, which create a zen and peaceful environment that is great for meditation. The gift store located at the center of the garden is a good place to shop for an element gift. If you are tired and need a place to rest, the tea station is must for your trip. It offers different hot teas and Japanese desserts for a unique experience. In San Francisco, I'm Chuan Tongguo for Urban Nights Update.
The entry fee to get into the Japanese tea garden is $6 for each adult San Francisco resident and $9 for a non-resident. With new movies coming out, as well as celebrity news, Ashley Pollock has more in the world of entertainment.
Hello, welcome to this week's entertainment segment. Here's what I have for you. 2 new movies are hitting the box office this week, first starting with The Avengers Endgame. It's a long-awaited sequel to Avengers Infinity War from last year. The new release will be a whopping 3 hours long. Here's a look at the trailer.
Even if there's a small chance, we owe this to everyone who's not in this room to try.
We will. Whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
The second new movie coming out this week is The Intruder. The film is about a newly married couple who thinks they have found a perfect home in Napa Valley. However, they come to realize that their seller is still strangely attached to the home and infiltrates their lives. Take a look at the trailer.
I keep hearing this creaking sound.
Manny, it's an old house.
You just bought the Peck house, right?
Yeah.
Charlie's quite a guy. Just don't look too close under the mask. His wife died in that house. Mrs. Charlie took Mr. Charlie's shotgun in her mouth. At least that's how Charlie explained it.
Hey! Stop drilling holes in my house!
The man acts like the house still belongs to him.
Manny, he's lonely.
Actors Michael Ealy and Megan Good talk about how director Deon Taylor gets his audience involved.
This movie works, in my opinion, because Deon is an audience member.
Right.
Right? So
Yeah.
Deon is he kind of directs in that way. Like I want the audience to do it right here. I want the audience to
that's true.
interact. I want them to yell
Yeah.
at the screen. He wants that reaction that you got from your screening.
Another release, the Beyoncé documentary, as well as her newest live album called Homecoming. The live album was shot and recorded at the Coachella Festival in 2018. Beyoncé has the way of reminding us of her unique ability to hold a crowd in the palm of her hand. The documentary is available now on Netflix. Speaking of queens, Kim Kardashian West is on the road to becoming a lawyer, much like her father, Robert Kardashian. Apparently, Kim does not need to attend law school. She's currently doing an internship at an Oakland nonprofit and plans to take the bar exam next year. She has recently taken the torts test and later tweeted, "I aced my test, by the way. Student by day, socialite by night, what's your excuse?" Outside of her legal pursuits, Kim delays her perfume launch, but not because she was accused of throwing shade at Taylor Swift, who is also planning her announcement for the same day, April 26th. Apparently, Kim posted on social media that there's a problem with the durability of her perfume bottles. Some fans aren't buying it, though, saying Kim's trying to steal Taylor's thunder. Kim recently said that she's moved on from her longtime feud with Taylor. This is all I have for this week's World of Entertainment. See you guys next week.
Thanks, Ashley. If you're looking for a great place to eat right here now in downtown San Francisco, then the review this week will be perfect for you. Alicia Barnage has the story.
This week's review will be on The Bird on 115 Montgomery Street in San Francisco, California. The Bird specializes in fried chicken, chicken sandwiches, and $2 wings. It's a great place to stop by for lunch or dinner, or even breakfast if you're feeling hungry. It even has 4 stars on Yelp and $1 for its awesome prices. I'm at The Bird in San Francisco, and I ordered a chicken biscuit, and it was $4.50, so the price range is pretty good, It looks good. Let's see how it tastes. There's some sauce on there. There's like some spicy mayo maybe. The chicken's really juicy. I'd say the outside's a little bit too crispy. There's definitely some seasoning on there. Tastes like maybe like Cajun seasoning. I'm not sure. But some good fried chicken. The biscuit's really fluffy. It's really flaky. It's golden. You can see that? It's really golden. Let's take another bite. Yeah. Overall, 8 out of 10. If you would like to learn more about The Bird and their food, you can visit thebirdsf.com to get more information on their menu, catering, and even more. You can also follow them on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at TheBirdSF. In San Francisco, I'm Alyssa with your Urban Nights Update.
Staying on the topic of food, people have a lot of opinions when it comes to their pizza. Here's this week's question of the week.
Absolutely yes.
Why?
Because it gives it that sweet and spicy flavor when you mix it with jalapenos and beef. You always gotta have that sweet and sour kind of, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it does.
Why?
Because I said so.
Yes.
Why?
Because it's a topping and people make it so they can taste good.
Hell yeah.
Oh, we family
Why?
now.
Because it's hella good.
No.
Why?
Because it kind of ruins the pizza.
It does.
It does? Why?
I don't know. Me personally, I like a little mixture of salty and sweetness. So that's where the ham and pineapple go together.
No.
Why?
Personally, I just think of like when you think of pizza, you want like pepperoni, you know, like red sauce or like a chicken Alfredo with white sauce is not sweet. You know what I mean? I just prefer not pineapple on my pizza.
No.
Why?
Because it does it.
No.
Why?
Just don't like it. Don't care for it on a pizza. I'd rather just have like salty stuff there, basically.
Graduation season is near. Gonzalo Moreno has an interview with the Academy of Art University graduate who fills us on life after the diploma.
What's going on? Gonzalo Moreno here in the studio with Athena Smith, all the way from Cabo San Lucas, Mexico to the Golden Coast of California. Thanks for joining me today, Athena.
Thank you for having me, Gonzalo.
All right, so we know you're an up-and-coming graduate.
Yes.
And what was the biggest culture shock coming from Cabo San Lucas to San Francisco?
I think definitely coming from Cabo San Lucas, being on the coast, for sure was the change of food, of like your everyday food. And I love food, but after discovering the Mission District, you can go and get anything from a street taco to pupusas to arepas. And that has definitely like expanded my knowledge of Latin American cuisine.
Mhm.
So it's like a culture shock, but it's also an add-on to being in a big city.
Yeah, and you get to have like the taste from back home and everything, right?
Yeah, totally.
Dope. What's the biggest takeaway getting an education in San Francisco?
I think the biggest thing is being exposed to as many cultures that I've been exposed to, because back home it's very limited.
Mhm.
It's very much an American tourist town, and we just have Mexicans. So here you have absolutely everything you could imagine from all over the world.
Right. So what's next for you? Are you planning on staying in the States?
No, I'm going back to Cabo San Lucas. I'm going to be maybe doing something in media, but I'm also going into law school starting in September. So that's very exciting, a new project for me. And we'll see what happens after that.
Do you have a specific type of law that you're going to be studying?
No, not yet, because I don't want to be a lawyer. I just want to have the knowledge and just to be able to go into business knowing absolutely every different aspect of it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Awesome. Speaking of media, what's the differences in work opportunities in San Francisco or America to media in Cabo or Mexico?
I think San Francisco, as like this bubble, is ahead of the game in tech and everything media from all over the world. And I think the rest of us are just trying to play catch up. So there's a lot of work and job opportunities opening up because people are coming in from all over different parts of the world and bringing in different, I want to say, like things that you can add on to different businesses, you know, for commercials, for ads, and basically getting us a step forward, just kind of, again, catching up to San Francisco, I guess.
So how would you say studying in San Francisco has affected your art or inspired your art in any way?
I think definitely that has to do with the cultural thing again, and just kind of being accepted as whatever your art you want it to be, and being accepting of other people's art, and just being, just in general, just more, I want to just accepting.
Well, it is San Francisco.
Yeah.
Everyone loves each other in San Francisco. Thank you so much for joining us for this interview. Back to you guys. I'm Gonzalo Moreno, and this is Athena Smith.
Thanks, Gonzalo and Athena. Now, in our recurring feature on Urban Nights Update, we're pleased to introduce you to an upcoming artist from the Academy of Art University.
Now the boy DJ Kenzo, no?
My name is Kenny Bakari. I'm 25 years old. I've been DJing for 2 to 3 years. I've been DJing since 2014 when I first actually came to school here. I counted 2015 because 2014 was kind of like my nonsense year. That's what I like to call it. My biggest inspiration, I have a lot of inspirations. First is my uncle Muhammad. He is honestly a DJ legend in the African community. Then we got Jazzy Jeff, Miles Mandina, DJ D Sharp, DJ Expo, just so many. And if we have to like just, you know, talk about just music in general, I think Dr. Dre for sure, Pharrell, we can just keep going on. The list goes on and on. I just have a lot of influences that kind of cater to what I'm doing right now. My style is really, it's very everywhere. I feel like it's in a good way. I feel like I definitely, it's just pure energy. Like it's just, you feel it. Like as soon as I get on, you kind of feel that I'm there. Like you don't even need to look and you know it's me. I feel like I definitely try to touch the audience and cater to the audience first before myself. So it's pretty much just a happy vibe, turn up vibe. It can get ratchet, but it's very, I try to keep it very, very smooth, very professional as I go throughout the night.
What's up, guys? How you guys doing? You guys doing good? I need more energy. Let me hear you guys talk. For sure, for sure. Well, if you guys don't mind, I'm about to play some tunes for y'all. Hope y'all enjoy it. You know, feel the love, feel the energy. That's all I want this whole entire year, this whole entire summer. I want everyone to feel love and energy, all right? So let's get it.
Now the boy DJ and Kenzo, no?
Flip it like a flippergram, flip it like a flippergram. Make your bumper flip like a flippergram, flip it like a flippergram, flip it like a flippergram. Y'all wind up on my body, girl. Why like it's a carnival? Y'all me love the way you wine for me. Y'all your wine is so emotional, so wind up on my body, girl. Me why you come wine your waistline for me.
I don't drink, I don't smoke, so a lot of times it's just music, honestly. I just sit there. I sit in my room a lot. That really gives me like the biggest influence. Sitting in my room, listening to opera. I listen to a lot of Beethoven. One time I just looked up Stevie Wonder just playing the piano, not even, singing or anything. I don't know, just like instruments calm me down. Going to the park and listening to like a drum, like I don't know if you guys see the homeless drummer. I love just sitting there and just listening to him, and it helps with my beat counts. I for surely need to collab with, it's just a coincidence how I'm saying this now, but Nipsey Hussle. I really wanted to collab with him when he made Sucker Proof, just because of the drums remind me of African drums and bongos, and like that's what I love. And honestly, I wanted to DJ like literally right there. So when I met him too, I told him that too. I was like, bro, I want to DJ, like I want to open up for you. And like he was really cool. Nipsey Hussle was a cool dude when I first met him. I definitely want to work with Akon. I need to. If Prince was alive, I would work with him. I would work with Nas. I would also work with Jazzy Jeff, Miles Bandina, and DJ A-Track. Find my mixes at DJ Kenzo and SoundCloud. I got Kenergy 2, Kenergy 1. It's actually pretty dope, pretty cool vibe, a lot of energy. You can find me at girl_DJ Kenzo on Instagram and girl_KB on Twitter. You can also find me at Parliament on May 24th. I have a bunch of shows in May, so keep updated with my Instagram to catch the shows. I'm also going to Missouri State in 2 weeks, in the beginning of May, so I'm extremely excited for that. Got some big shows coming up, so I need everybody to slide through for the one time. It's your boy DJ Kenzo, Cheese!
Now the boy DJ and Kenzo, no?
I got what
DJ Kenzo, you heard him here first. That's a wrap. This edition of Urban Nights Update. Thanks for joining us. I'm Grant Swinton.
I'm Danny Galvez. See you next time.